morning students. So today we will study chapter number 4, that is materials, that is metal and non-metals. Okay, so in first slide you can see that there are various material around us which can be made up of metal or non-metal, but how can we identify them? As you know, generally metals are generally lustrous and hard as compared to non-metals. Okay, metals generally shine. You can see some examples are written there. Copper, iron, aluminium, sodium, potassium, etc. These are the examples of metal. But generally the color of copper is brown, but all the metal have color of shiny like silver color. Okay, so you can see some example of copper. Non-metals are also given like carbon, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen. These are the examples of non-metals. Okay, now you have a question in your mind that wood is not categorized in non-metal example. Why? It is not a non-metal because it is made up of components such as carbon. Then the component carbon is known as non-metal and the wood is made up of content of carbon. So actually it is a non-metal. Okay, now you can see there are many objects around us that is made up of mixture of other kind of elements like glass. It is made by sand and silica, okay, which are non-metals. So glass is also known as non-metal. Okay, in picture number 1 you can see some you can see some example of metals in first diagram, that is bronze, okay, steel, copper, aluminium, cast iron. All the color of these metals are generally silver, but copper and brass, it have color like brownish color. In second diagram you can see example of non-metal. Sulfur, it is non-metal. Bromine, it is a liquid non-metal. Carbon, you can see black color. And oxygen, remember student that there is a metal mercury which is liquid at room temperature. So students, in this chapter we will study physical properties of metal and non-metal as well as chemical property. So first we will study the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So first is malleability. So the ability of metal in which it can be beaten down into thin sheets on hammering or by pressing is called as malleability. Example, you can see aluminium foil which is used to wrap the food to keep the food warm. Iron sheet for manufacturing different objects like door, windows, very thin. Silver foils and gold foils are wrapped around the sweets. Okay, so malleability is the property of a metal that it can be drawn into very thin sheets by hammering. Okay, but non-metals cannot be beaten down into thin sheets because on doing so it will break or it will become in the form of powder. So graphite in the pencil which you use the pencil to write, graphite is present in black color. If you will hammer it, it will break because it is a non-metal. So in first diagram you can see that there is a gold piece and it is hammered and it drawn into coin, a thin sheet. In second diagram you can see aluminium foil by which food is wrapped, and the third one is copper foil. The copper is hammered or it is pressed, so it becomes thin metal sheet. This property is known as malleability. Okay, second property is ductility. The property of metal by which it can be drawn into wires is called ductility. So from a metal, if a wire is drawn, that property will be known as ductility. So the flow of current through metal is good. As you know, metal are good conductor of electricity. So the flow of current in metals are good. They will be called as good conductor. And the material, mainly non-metal, do not let the current pass through them. They are known as insulator, not the bad conductor. Okay. So some metals have the ability to be drawn into thin wires, such as common example is copper. Copper is the very best and common example of electric carrying wire and ductility. But silver is the best conductor of electricity. You can see there are many wirings in our house which is made up of copper wire because it is a very good conductor and a reliable conductor. We cannot use silver wire because it is costly. The third property is sonorous. The property of metals to produce a ringing sound when struck is known as sonority. Okay, when you will struck a metal with a hammer or with a, you can try example of a spoon. If you struck a spoon against a wall, you can see vibration in a spoon. Okay, this produces ringing sound because the molecules in metals are very compact and closely caused together. Okay, so this causes vibration and to produce ringing sound. You can see in this diagram, it is the property of ductility. The example of ductility, copper metal is drawn into thin wire. So this is ductility. So children, you can see that some materials are hard, they are lustrous, they are malleable, ductile, sonorous, and are good conductor of heat and electricity also. So these materials which generally possess these properties are known as metals. You have seen these properties: malleable, ductility, sonorous, good conductors of heat and electricity. So the material which possess these properties, they are called as metals. Okay, so you know the example of metals are iron, copper, aluminum, magnesium, etc. But some metals like coal and sulfur are soft and dull in appearance. They break down into powder mass on tapping with hammer. Okay, so like coal or sulfur or any other non-material, generally like they form in form of powder when they are hammered. They do not show the property of sonorous, and they are generally poor conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, so these materials are called non-metal. You can see simple example of non-materials are sulfur, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus. But there is a non-metal which is known as graphite. It is a good conductor of electricity. Graphite is an exceptional case, that is the good conductor of electricity. And talking about metals, I have told you that metals are hard. Okay, but there is a metal, you can see in the first picture, that mercury. It is the metal, this mercury, it is the metal which is in the form of liquid at room temperature. Another second diagram you can see, this is sodium and potassium, which are kept in kerosene to avoid contact with air because it burns, and it is a very soft metal which can be cut through a knife. Okay, and the third one in the diagram you can see potassium. It is also soft metal. It is kept in the kerosene, so to avoid contact with air because it catches fire easily, and it is very reactive metal. Okay children, we have completed the physical properties. Now we'll come to the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, the first property, chemical property, we'll see with oxygen. So first is reaction with oxygen. Okay, metals, we'll talk about metals. Generally most metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide. Like magnesium react with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. You can see in the second line, the magnesium is Mg and oxygen is O. They combine together to form magnesium oxide, that is MgO. Another example is iron. Iron also react with oxygen to form rust, that is iron oxide. Okay, to test the nature of metal oxide, that whether it is acidic or basic, we will test the nature. We have to mix the metal oxide with water to form metal hydroxide. Okay, we will mix the metal oxide with water to form metal hydroxide, and when with the help of litmus paper, which is used to identify a material whether it is acidic or basic in nature, we will test it. It will change red litmus to blue. That means the oxide of metal are basic in nature. Always remember, the oxides of metal are basic in nature. Now talking about non-metals reaction with oxygen, most non-metal does not react with oxygen, but from example of sulfur. Sulfur react with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Okay, it is gas. So to test the nature of non-metal, this sulfur dioxide is mixed in water. Okay, this sulfur dioxide is mixed in water to form sulfurous acid. Okay, and as the name is acid, you can know that it is acidic in nature, but we will test it with the help of litmus paper. So it will turn the blue litmus paper into red, means it is acidic in nature. You can see in the last line, reaction is given that sulfur dioxide SO2 plus water H2O, it will give sulfurous acid. Okay students. Okay, second chemical property we will study with reaction with water. So first we will study about metals. Metal like sodium and potassium, they are soft metal, as we have given example in previous slide. They are highly reactive and catches fire when it comes in contact with water. So generally they are stored in kerosene or ether to avoid the contact of water to these metals. Okay, but some metals react very slowly with water, such as iron, because it corrodes easily. We have studied in previous slide. Iron react with water very slowly to form iron oxide, but metal like sodium and potassium, they are highly reactive and they react within a seconds with water. Talking about non-metals, generally non-metals does not react with water, but phosphorus react with air, because air also contains some amount of moisture or water, so it is kept in water to avoid contact with oxygen. When phosphorus combine with oxygen and water both, it burns. Okay, so it is to avoid the contact with oxygen, it is kept in water. The third property is reaction with acid. So first it is of metals. Metals react with acid to produce hydrogen gas. All the metals react with acid to produce hydrogen gas. We can test it by taking the sample of metal in a test tube and adding some amount of acid to it. Okay, after we will add acid to the test tube, hydrogen gas will produce. Okay, so to check whether it is hydrogen gas or not, we will bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of test tube, and it will burn with a popping sound. The matchstick will burn with a popping sound. Okay, So this proves that this is the hydrogen gas. But copper does not react with acid. Copper is also a metal, but it does not react with acid even on heating, but it reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid. Talking about non-metals, basically non-metal does not react with acid. Okay, then we will come to the another property of metals and non-metal, that is reaction with bases. We have studied reaction with acid, now we will study reaction with bases. Okay, talking about metals, metals generally react with base to produce hydrogen gas. Example, metal react with sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a base. When any metal react with sodium hydroxide, it produces hydrogen gas, and as you know, hydrogen gas is tested with the help of burning matchstick. It will burn with a popping sound. Now talking about non-metals, non-metals reaction with bases are very complex in nature. Reaction of non-metal with bases are very complex, so you will study that in higher classes. Okay students. Okay, now fifth property of metals and non-metals, it is of displacement reaction. Okay, in this type of reaction, the more reactive element from its solution displaces or replaces the less reactive element. Means the element which is more reactive than the other element, it will replace it from the solution. We will take example of copper sulfate solution, that is CuSO4, and zinc, which is zinc, Zn. Okay, so copper sulfate plus zinc, if you will react these both together, zinc will displace copper from its solution. Okay, zinc will displace copper from its solution. As you can see in the equation, it is CuSO4 plus Zn, and in product we will get ZnSO4 plus Cu. Copper will be expected alag. So zinc sulfate, ZnSO4, will replace copper because zinc is more reactive than copper. You can also see the picture below. It is the reactivity series. Most reactive metal is kept at the top and the least reactive at the bottom. So potassium, sodium, calcium, potassium. Okay, here are some example of non-metals also, like calcium. Okay, carbon. But it is a reactivity series of metals and non-metals. The topmost metal is reactive and the lower is less reactive. Okay children, now we'll come to last part, that is uses of metals and non-metals. Okay, first is non-metals essential for our life, which all living being inhale during breathing, that is oxygen. As you know, we breathe oxygen, it is very essential for living beings. Second point is non-metal used in fertilizer to enhance the growth of plants. That non-metal is known as nitrogen. Nitrogen is used for the growth of plants. Third is non-metal used in water purification process. Chlorine. Chlorine is a non-metal which is used for the purification of water. The next point is non-metal used in the purple colored solution, which is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. Okay, for antiseptic, that non-metal is iodine. Iodine is used to apply on the wounds. Okay, then last one is non-metal used in crackers, that is sulfur. Sulfur is also used in crackers, which is a non-metal. Okay, so there are another uses of metals also. Generally metals are used for many chemical reaction, for making structures and etc. also. So I hope students you understood the chapter well. Thank you.